Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. It's nice to see you. Is everyone well today, or I still hear people with coffee? Okay. All right. Anyone has any questions? Okay, feel free to ask questions anytime. Okay, we jump right into Master Xuanhua's teachings. Play the tapes, please. Is there audio or just you have to read it? Okay, we are, JMT, go ahead.
왕생 위패에 관한 질문입니다. 한 여자분이 키우던 강아지와 고양이가 죽었는데 이런 경우 각각 단기 위패를 다는 것이 나은지 아니면 한 개의 영구 왕생 위패에 그 여러 죽은 동물을 올릴 수도 있는지 질문합니다.
Master, there's a question about rebirth plaque. This lady has a dog and cat and they passed away. So she has a question if she needs to request for temporary plaques for dog and cat, or can she request for one permanent plaque for the dog and cat at the same time?
They must be requested individually. However, because it's easier work for us, she should be able to get one for each. Okay? Usually, when you fall into the animal realm, and God forbid, I hope you won't ever fall in the animal realms, it's very difficult to get out. So that's why if you can, as you are Buddhist and you believe in Buddhism, you have been exposed to our Dharma, keep that in mind. You don't want to fall, and it's very easy to fall. What does it take to fall to the animal realm? What does it take? Yes, 9.
Master, thoughts of stupidity.
Thoughts of stupidity. What are thoughts of stupidity? I'm smarter than Master. Just kidding. You guys are so serious. Okay? When you have thoughts of stupidity, those, as soon as you have a thought of stupidity, it plants the seeds in your consciousness. And therefore, by the time you die, the more of these thoughts you have, they affect the last thought you have before you die, before you expire, before you have your last breath. And a thought arises in your mind. The type of thought you have there will predispose you to go in that direction. So the 3 kinds of thoughts you want to avoid: thoughts of anger, thoughts of greed, thoughts of stupidity. All right? And because on your very last thought, they didn't, Master Shio explained it to his disciples, but it's not emphasized enough, okay? And it's important for me to repeat it for you. Thoughts of, when you have thoughts of anger, thoughts of stupidity, and thoughts of greed, okay? Those are the seeds here. And we are creatures of habits. Once you have these types of thoughts, you continually create them, and they create multiple seeds in your consciousness. So it creates a habit. So by force of habit, before you die, for example, you say, wow, would be nice if I have my last soju drink. She finds it funny. Okay, and right there, the thoughts of greed right there. You say, what the heck? One last drink for the road, like what we do in Louisiana in our country. When we go to funeral service in Louisiana, hey, you go to South Carolina, New Orleans, and what they have is they have these beautiful, beautiful ceremonies for funerals. And they get together, and then after the funeral service, they go to a bar and they have one last drink for the departed. And so we have these types of thoughts that we habitually create them without thinking. And so this very last thought you have is the thought of stupidity. Okay, then it plants the seeds for you. So that very last thought there will predispose you to go to the animal realm. Okay? And so that last thought there actually opens the door for you to go to the animal realm. So you basically, during the 49-day service, and the 49-day period, you're waiting just to go there. Okay, and so it's and you see because we have so many of those thoughts during when we were alive, it's very easy for us to have the last thought of greed, anger, and stupidity. It's a lot more dangerous than you think. Thank you. Okay, you think it's okay. No one knows. No one can tell. But you only are hurting yourself, indulging in those types of thoughts. Okay, and so assuming that you go to the animal realm or any of the three lower realms, you will stay there for a long, long time. Because once you go to the animal realm and you die, okay, let's say you go into a dog life, and a dog life, you are even more conditioned, more producing even more stupid thoughts like that. So after you die, you continue to be a dog, and a dog, and a dog. No matter how cute you're going to be, you're still a dog. That's how serious it is. Okay? Yeah. So I recommend that because this dog, she has died for a while already. If she cares for the dog, try to help him escape his condition in staying in the animal realm. Okay? All right, anyone else? And that's kind of interesting to me because when I started teaching Pureland Buddhism, people started asking me questions like that. Okay? Because if the Chinese or Asian Buddhism is only such that it only serves you when you're alive by teaching you to recite the Buddha's name and recite sutras, hoping to get rebirth by the time you die, okay, at your time of death. And after the time of death, we have a 49-day period to try to help you as well. But what about the people that you care for, you love, who are deceased already a long, long time ago? Your parents, your grandparents, your ancestors. What can we do for them? Okay, and that's why we started devising things to help make it more useful for you. Yes, 3. I'm amazed. How come the Asians never ask for it? Why is that? Anyone knows? How come people in Korea don't ask to help, can you help my grandfather? The other night, I dreamt of him coming to me, very thin, very hungry, in very bad shape. Is there anything we can do for him? People never asked in Korea, huh? In China, in Vietnam. I don't get it. Yes, 3.
First of all, I'd like to thank all the YouTube viewers for joining us today. And please click like and subscribe. We would greatly appreciate it.
Better than last night. Mean it, okay? Mean it. Even though you don't believe it, just pretend.
Okay, we have a question from Wei Zhuang. Master, is it better to sit longer and break our past longest sits during Chanqi, or should we try and follow the schedule?
Sit longer and what?
Is it better to sit longer and break our past longest sits during Chanqi, or should we try to follow the schedule?
Okay. My approach to cultivation is my personal style, okay? Is that I try to push myself a little bit more each time. Okay, very much like when you work out and you try to build your strength. You're taught to exhaust yourself, okay? Make yourself exhausted and so that you get to the limit, okay? You can't go anymore, okay? And make it difficult the last 3 lifts. For example, you do a, pull-up, okay, on a fixed bar. Yeah? The last one, okay, you do 3 reps, okay. Then the last 1 or so, or last 2 or so, maybe the last 3, it would be difficult for you, okay. And so the point is that you need to make yourself tired. That's how your muscles are stressed, and that's how they grow. If your muscles are not stressed, they will not grow. If you want to build strength, the same principle, your muscles need to be stressed so that they can become stronger. Your muscle can grow stronger. So the same principle, same thing here. When you practice Chanqi here, build yourself up gradually as well. Okay, meaning that you can sit longer, by all means, sit longer, stretch yourself a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. But my style is that I stretch more, Sometimes I go crazy, I do a longer sit, okay, than just minimal thing I recommend to you. But then my body is stressed out. Then I will take a break, okay, and wait for it to heal. But then I pick it up again. Okay, be conservative. Your body, you need to listen to your body. Don't go all crazy on me. Okay, and so depends on your goals. If your goals, you go for longer sits, definitely push for longer sits. That's what I used to do in Chanqi. I was bored, so I would go for longer sits. Okay, at least set a goal for myself. Or if your goal is to test yourself and see if you can follow the entire schedule and how long you can do that. Okay, that's another form of endurance training as well. You follow every single day, and the next day you be more tired, next day you're more tired, and so forth. So it depends on what you want to do, what goals you set. Okay? The idea here during a Chanqi is to push yourself. You have to challenge yourself. There's a reason for it. If you do it long enough, you understand. Okay? Yes, 9.
Amitabha Master. When I'm practicing here, sometimes it feels easier for me to just observe the mind than chant the Buddha's name. Can I just do that? Like just look at my mind, and if the thought comes, not participate in it? and just keep doing just that?
You can, absolutely. You can do that. Okay? That's a very good thing to do. If that's what you like to do, it works for you, by all means. What you can do for you personally is because you're a thinker, you are a logical person, so you tend to process information. So what you do is that when you meditate, you will process the sound, you process the smell, you process things that comes to mind. Stop it. Catch yourself processing, you stop. And that is jhana. Okay? But again, it's not about stopping alone. Stopping is just basically an excuse, something for you to do, because you're so used to thinking. For us to tell you stop thinking is not possible. Okay? So this process here of training is we tell you to do something, and you keep doing and doing, and we'll keep your mind occupied so that the mind doesn't jump around from topic to topic and topic. Okay? That's a natural process of settling your mind. So it takes time. It's not going to be overnight. And when you go to this environment, the environment here, for example, one very big advantage you have, and let me sell it for you, because we appreciate the YouTube subscribers, right? Ching! is that the environment is very important, okay? Because the environment we have, I want you Sanghas to remember it. The environment we have is that we're not after money. Because most temples I've been to, they're very worried about money. They're worried about making mortgage payments, paying for utility bills and so forth. We don't. My master reinforced it because they used to have no support at all when they first came. So they have to economize on everything, on water, electricity, and everything. Okay, and they believed in it. Okay, this is in the 1960s, early 70s. People came, 30 people came, and they didn't have food, so they abstained from eating themselves so that the guests have some food to eat. They go hungry. They went hungry, okay? And so it makes sense to do all those things, okay? We have a little bit more blessings. My disciples, not me. I am perfectly happy eating simple, all those things. But I'm happier because as soon as my disciples came, the good food came. So for me to pretend that, no, let me just eat boiled vegetables. Why? Okay? And so as soon, and I remember, Xian Shun, Xian Xin, as soon as they shaved their head, good food came. Xian Xin, actually. Xian Shun was the first one. No, you didn't get good food. Thomas didn't get good food. In our first generation, we have no good food, okay? And we ate only boiled vegetables and stuff like that. Okay, we were very tough warriors. And then Xian Xin came. And all of a sudden, the good food came as well with her. And now, when the Koreans came, better food came along as well. You see? So, who are we to fight? The will of the people. And so, it's very important. I'm trying to tell you that regardless of what happens, whatever we have, we share with you. Okay, we never had to worry for some reason when the Chanchi comes. We have enough support, so we never have to worry about picking people's pocket or scheming for money and so forth. Okay, and that's so important because you sit here and meditate, and there's this energy of trying to pick your pocket and stuff like that. I've seen in many places because my colleagues, my peers, are under a lot of financial pressure. I know that. Okay, I remember when my master died, Master Shinhua died, I was in their meeting as a novice already. And the young abbot, they liked me. So he said, I have some questions about accounting and stuff like that. And so I answered them for them. So they liked it. So he said, I'd like you to know more about our numbers so that you can advise us on what to do with accounting. I was in accounting finance a little bit. And so I knew what they were worried about. They said, we have all these properties, okay, all this overhead. At the time, in the city, 10,000 Buddhas. They have a elderly place for older women to stay. Okay, Master Shinhua is very, very compassionate. The old women, Asian women that no one wanted, he took them in, turned them to nuns. And these women don't chant, don't do anything, but complain all day. And they're bhikshunis. So they have a special wing for these old women. Okay? And food is not good today. What happened to my soy sauce? And the woman who's crazy about those crackers, you know, we Americans put in the soups. The saltines, thank you. And so we had to go to the shops and buy saltines for her. So all these women are spoiled to death. And every month, at the time, this is 20 years ago, 25 years ago, they spending for that building alone on heating, okay, they spend about $3,000 to $5,000 every month. Just for that one building, just heating for the old, whiny women who do nothing. That's Master Shinhua, and that's why I said, oh, this monk is for real. He really cares. You know, once you come in, he took care of you. Okay. And so you see, so they were worried about how to make money to pay for all these things. Okay, and it's for real. Well, we're lucky. We always have enough support. Okay, and so your job during this Chanchi here, it's a very special time. You come in here, you have nothing to worry about. Just follow the schedule, just cultivate, okay? Whatever time you have to do it. And it's very much easier for you to cultivate an environment where there's no scheming to do anything to you. Okay? And your job is to steal your mind, okay? Whatever you have to do, follow the schedule, okay? And try your best to follow the schedule. And the schedule is very tough. You get tired, okay? And that's part of your training. Yes, JMT.
저한테 관계가 왜 증조모가 계신데 사실 이제 제가 이분은 이제 제가 당연히 태어나기 전에 돌아가신 분이고요. 자살을 하신 분이셔가지고 저희 친정 엄마도 이분의 존재를 모르셨더라고요. 근데 이제 제가 어느 날 명상을 하는데 어떤 할머니가 나타나셔서 좀 도와달라고 하셔가지고 제가 24년 전에 한번 천도제를 했었고요. 세란이 여기까지 한번 끊어야 될 것 같아요. 그러니까 잠시만요. 제가 지금 28년 전이네요. 네네.
Master, I'd like to talk about my great-grandma. Obviously, my great-grandma passed away before my birth. And what I heard was that she committed suicide. My mom didn't even know about her. So what happened was when I found out about during meditation, I saw a strange grandma came and asked me for help. So what I did was I did like sort of funeral, like praying for the deceased person. I did that about 28 years ago. And she will continue.
이제 29년 전에 천도제를 하고 이제 사실은 제가 좀 큰 복을 받긴 했어요. 좋은 일이 많았고 근데 그러다가 잊고 지내다가 불칠하기 한 일주일 전에 갑자기 새벽 예불을 하는데 이 할머니가 갑자기 생각이 나고 계속 생각이 나는 거예요. 예불 할 때마다 뭐 대비참을 한다든지 새벽 예불 할 때마다. 그래서 이제 어떻게 해야 되나 이제 고민했는데 제가 일전에 그 새벽에 선화상님께서 저한테 고맙다고 잘하고 있다고 말씀을 하셨던 날 제가 그냥 가시려고 하길래 제가 여기 이 할머니 어떻게 할까요? 라고 여쭤봤더니 위패를 달으라고 하셨어요. 그래서 제가 이제 일단은 좀 너무 바쁘기도 하고 경황이 없어서 한 달 위패를 현재 단 상태거든요. 찌라니 여기까지 한 번 더 끊어주세요.
So after that prayer, I received a lot of blessings. A lot of good things happened. So I forgot about it. But about a week before the Fochi, every time I did the ceremonies or Great Compassion Repentance, I was keep thinking about her. So remember that one time, that early morning, Great Master Shenhua showed up, and then he was about to leave, and I asked him about this great grandma. And then he told me to request a plaque. So at the time, I didn't have any. At the time, I decided to just request for a temporary plaque for 1 month.
그래서 이제 오늘 맞섞게 드리고 싶은 말씀은 이제 이 할머니를 통해서 제가 뭘 더 해야 되는 게 있는지 아까 그 주제가 좀 유사해서 생각이 나서 질문 드리게 됐습니다.
So, Master, today, since you mentioned about the animal realms and all about after death, so I'd like to ask for my great grandma. Do I need to do anything more for her?
Yeah, usually when people commit suicide, they are stuck in the ghost realm. Or you have an abortion, your child is stuck in the ghost realm. It's actually the child is stuck by you. And so in your grandma's case, for example, she is stuck in the ghost realm. She's still there, and you may want to help her. All right? Those are general rules of thumb. Would you look at the way they die is very, very important. Because remember the last thought? That's what Master Shenhua referred to in his booklet. The small book is the 10 realms are not beyond a single thought. It's very interesting. He explained the general principles of why you go to which realm, but what it does not explain to you is that very last thought there. Okay, applies to the people who do not get help from a 49-day service from the Buddhists. The last thought they have, the Catholics have, and so forth. Okay, because over there in the other religions, they don't have the Dharma to help them during the 49-day period because they don't know what to do. So that's it. That last thought there is where they're going to go next. Or worse. Okay, so the people who die like that, they commit suicide. They fall for sure. It's unlikely they can be helped. You know, even if you go to a Buddhist temple, unless you look out to a better Buddhist temple, they still fall. Okay? So the suicide thing there is pretty severe. I would get a rebirth plaque for her to help out. Okay? And she needs it. All right. Anyone else? Anything else? Continue.
조금 추가로 말씀드리면 28년 전에 이 할머니께서는 저희 할아버지가 바람을 많이 피셔가지고 원망을 하면서 새벽에 저희 선산이 있는데 거기 가서 목매달고 자살을 하셨고 저한테 그걸 28년 전에 얘기를 해주셨었어요. 그러니까 남편을 되게 원망하면서 목매달고 동네 사람들이 모두 다 왔다 제일 많이 볼 수 있는 곳에 목매달고 자살을 하셨었어요.
Just to provide additional information, that 28 years ago, this great grandma came to explain about how she died. She says grandpa happened to be loves a lot of women. So what she did was she was very upset. So she went up to the mountain, hang herself, and she found the location that all the villagers being able to see her after her death, and that also she died as she hated her husband. Thank you.
Oh my God. Oh, that's pretty ugly. So your husband is not going to do well either.
말씀하신 대로 이분이 그 천도제를 28년 전에 했지만 약간 구천을 맴돈다는 느낌을 드는 게 제가 예를 들면 좀 기도가 소홀하거나 좀 음주를 하거나 좀 그런 생활을 하면 그런 할머니가 좀 다시 말하면 천도제를 했지만 제 반경에서 거리가 멀어졌다 가까워졌다 뿐이지 계속 맴돈다는 생각을 들었는데 불칠 전에 와서 이렇게 도움을 요청했습니다. 마스터 말씀대로 왕생위패를 달겠습니다. 감사합니다.
So 20 years ago that I request for that special prayer, that ascending, crossing over the deceased person ceremony. But I could feel that she's still around me. Depends on how my cultivation or prayers. I could see that certain days she's really close by, certain days she's far away, but I could feel that she is still around.
Yeah, she's still around, and she's not doing well. It's too bad that the Asian monks and nuns don't pay attention to this. And I've been watching it for all these years. I wonder why Master Shenhua didn't train my generation about this side of the Pureland Dharma door. And I noticed one thing though. I'm hoping that in the future you'll be good enough to be able to help, to continue to help, because it's a diary. You know, there's great need for us to help our loved ones, because it's so easy to fall. Okay, we have thoughts of greed, anger, stupidity constantly every day, don't we? So we are creating these seeds in our consciousness daily. Okay, they far outnumber the good thoughts we have. That's our reality. So it's very easy to fall after we die. Okay, and so I'm hoping in the future your generation will be able to continue our tradition of helping people who believe in it, okay, and believe in helping their loved ones and so forth who are in need of help. This is what Buddhism is about. It's not about talking. It's about we wanted to help. Therefore, we pride upon ourselves on developing the skills and the conditions to help others. Not all of us need to help, but if one of you or a few of you will be able to do that in your generation, then it would be tremendous for society. Okay, and one thing I will tell you that I'm watching to see why the others they don't put a lot of emphasis on the Pureland Dharma door, is because they feel that they are special. They're better than the other monks and nuns. you only feel that way because your level is not high enough. That's why when I train you, I beat it into your head. You're not special. I'm special, but you're not special. If there's only one person who's special, let me be me. Okay? And so don't make that mistake. I've been to temples, I see a lot of good monks and nuns, very competent, but in the back of their mind, they feel they're better than us. That's why they're not good enough. That's a thought of stupidity. Yeah, stupidity, man. Yes, JMT.
그래서 참고로 갑자기 기억이 났는데 자살하신 할머니의 그러니까 할아버지 남편분은 술을 많이 드셨고 그다음에 간이 안 좋아져서 돌아가셨는데 그 이후에 저희 외할아버지가 간경화로 갑자기 돌아가시고 약간 집안 내력이 간이 안 좋아서 돌아가셨던 게 갑자기 생각이 났어요. 네, 참고로 말씀드립니다.
Just for additional reference, after great-grandma committed suicide, my great-grandpa, actually he drank a lot. So he passed away with the liver disease. After that, many people die with liver problems.
Okay. But he died happy. It's your mom who died unhappy. Your grandma died unhappy.
네, 비교적 상대적으로는 행복하셨던 것 같아요. 재혼하셔서 잘 사셨고 집이 좀 부자셔가지고 잘 사셨고 근데 이제 제가 이 말씀 드리는 거는 이제 증조 할아버지 그러니까 할아버지가 돌아가시고 나서 저희 외할아버지가 갑자기 돌아가시고 또 이렇게 집안에 저희 그러니까 어떤 분이 또 쥐약을 먹고 좀 어렸을 때 빨리 돌아가시고 약간 비슷한 좀 약간 텀은 있었지만 약간 줄초상이 났던 그런 히스토리가 갑자기 생각이 나서 말씀드려봤습니다.
Yes, you're right. He was rich and then he got remarried and he relatively compared to great-grandma, he died happily. But the things that I want to say is after that great-grandpa passed away, grandpa passed away with the disease and some relatives took rat poison and they died.
What? The grandpa died or relative died? How many of them died like that?
그러니까
My God.
그러니까 증조할아버지는 재혼해서 잘 사시다가 저희 외할아버지가 갑자기 수술이 잘못돼서 갑자기 돌아가시고 또 한 1년도 안 돼가지고 쥐약을 먹고 어린아이가 하여튼 좀 관계가 저랑 좀 먼 친척인데 갑자기 돌아가셔서 남자가 그러니까 2명이 갑자기 급사했다고 해야 되나? 예, 그렇게 됐습니다.
So there are two persons passed away suddenly. One passed away, young kid passed away with eating rat poison, and then also grandpa died suddenly.
Yeah, the one thing in Asian culture is that you have to pay attention to the death. It's what is called a good death. Okay? Good peaceful death is important. If you cannot even manage to get that, it's not a good thing for you. Okay? You need help. Okay? And that's what's amazing to people. The people are rich and are powerful, like the latest one, Kissinger, he's not doing well. A very powerful man, rich man, has wielded so much power in Vietnam, in Laos, in Cambodia, and so forth. Okay? American power, American capitalism. All that power, all that things that they are very proud of is what get in trouble. got him in trouble after he died. Okay. The ugliness of the arrogance. I've seen how my white boy looked down upon the Asians. I find it funny. I was hoping he would outgrow it, but no, it's hidden. Pale-faced people look down upon yellow-faced people like us, and yellow-faced people look down upon white-faced, pale-faced people because you don't have enough blessings and so forth. It's back and forth. It's all nonsense. Okay? Yeah. So much nonsense. Stupid. And after you lose your body, then you regret it. You suffer. Oh well, you learn eventually. Anyone else? It's amazing, that people are so oblivious to the dangers that are lurking just around the corner. When you die, it's extremely dangerous. Now you have all your faculties, all your money, all your smarts. After you die, you basically become a punching bag for your past karmas. You cannot help yourself. You totally are a victim to your past karmas. It's nothing you can do yourself. That's how scary it is. And no one talks about it. No one knows about it or is willing to confront it, to face it. And that's why they're in for a big surprise after you die. They die. Yes, 9.
Master, this is a personal story for me. My mom wanted to ask this. Her brother has been had an accident and had a paralytic attack. So he has been bedridden for last 8 years.
Who?
My mom's brother.
Okay,
in
your
India.
brother. Okay, your uncle.
My uncle. And I think she's wondering what's the purpose of his life. It's like he's just vegetating pretty much.
Yeah.
And
what's the purpose?
Of his life,
who's taking care of him?
His family.
His family.
Yeah.
His wife or what?
His wife.
His wife. That's the purpose of his life. It's collect from his wife. In Buddhism, the rule of thumb, if you're in a bad shape, like your uncle is in a bad shape, who suffers?
Family.
Name that one person that suffers more.
His wife.
The wife. Who else? Children.
His son, yeah.
Yeah? Your mother. It bothers her. Yes?
Yes.
You owe your brother. That's why. So his purpose is to inflict pain and suffering upon you. We come here into the Sahara world in order to collect our debts or pay our debts. Buddhas came here as well. Shakyamuni Buddha came here to pay his debts as well. When you go to the Pureland, okay, the debt payment is suspended. You don't have to pay anymore. The interest accrues though. And you go to the Pureland, they cannot pursue you anymore. It's off limits. It's too far away. Okay? And there's no room for them. Over there, there's no ghosts, there's no animal, there's no hells and so forth. There's no more suffering. So over there, you're all taken care of and you can become a Buddha. Okay? Right there. You stay there until you become a Buddha. You'll be protected until you become a Buddha. But just like Shakyamuni Buddha, after you're done, after you become a Buddha, and then you're going to do is, what am I going to do with my life? Retire, go to the Bahamas? That's for losers. Okay? So the Buddhas then, after you become a Buddha, they have to go and pay. So the Buddhas and pay off their debts. So in the Avatamsaka Sutra, it says Buddhas go to all the worlds. Remember that? They appear, manifest in all the worlds. So every world you go to is to pay off the debts. That's what they do. It's not just us, all living beings. When they come to our world, they have to pay our debts. I'm here to collect mine. My disciples slave for me. And I'm paying my debts to you. You see, it works both ways. Okay? So we hear. So the people who are suffering are the ones that are paying the debts. 9.
Master, in the West, I think they have this concept of euthanasia.
Yeah.
Would that be then against collecting the debt?
Yeah, if you stop it, then you suspend it. The debt is not paid off, and it accrues interest. It grows. Okay? We're different. We know we have debts. We owe our children. Okay? And so we want to pay them off. But if we don't pay them off, we accrue interest, we accrue blessings for us, so we're not scared of having to pay them off down the road. Okay? We have antidotes. We're not going to run away. We know that eventually we have to pay back. It's just the law of cause and effect. When you owe someone, you have to pay them. If you don't pay, interest accrues. That's how it is for everyone, including Buddhas. So, euthanasia, yes, you can kill that person, and could be merciful killing and so forth. And if the person does not object to it, it's not a bad thing, because there's a lot of suffering for him or for her. But if you kill a person because to relieve your own suffering, then it's not a good thing to do. Okay? On the other hand, the person who wants to end his own pain and suffering, okay, thinking that using euthanasia would put an end to it, actually they're in for a surprise, because after they die, okay, that there's other even worse types of suffering awaiting for them for 49 days. Listen, right now, you hear, as soon as the bank or your credit card companies know where you are, they come knock on the door and say, hey, pay, make your monthly payment, remember? Huh? You don't? Okay? You hear from us. All right? Same thing. After you die, you think that they stop and say, okay, we honor give you peace and bliss for 49 days in memory of all that payment you made to us? Heck no. Whatever you owe, okay? During 49 days there, they all are entitled to come and harass you to death. That's how scary it is. And the amazing thing is that people in the world choose to ignore it. Because they don't know. JMT.
한국어 유튜브 질문 2가지 있습니다. 하나는 광호님 질문입니다. 저희 가족 친인척분인 경우 증조 할머니이십니다. 치매셨던지라 밖에서 행방불명이 되셨고 객사하셨다고 합니다. 이런 경우에도 고스트 영역에서 머무르실 가능성이 크실까요? 최근 수행 중 해당 할머니가 떠올랐고 그래서 최근에 한 달 왕사인 위패를 올렸습니다. 2번 이평님 질문입니다. 요즘은 거동이 불편하신 부모님을 요양원에 모시는데 이것은 빚을 갚지 않는 상황이 되는 건가요?
Master, there's two questions from Korean YouTube. First question is from Kwang Ho. He asked, I remember my great-grandmother. She had Alzheimer, and she left home, and she got lost, and we heard that she died alone on the street. Do you think she's in ghost realm? And because during my cultivation, I suddenly thought about her, and so what I did was I request 1 month temporary rebirth plaques.
She seems to be doing okay. She's in the human realm. Second question.
The second question is from Ru Xiang. These days, when the older parents are sick, what people do is they send them to home care or other facilities. Does that mean that they're not paying their debt?
Oh, they need to be taken care of. These home care and elderly homes or retirement communities, those are the places where they have more help. They have better help 24 hours than we can provide for them. So it makes sense. I'm sure that Victorina here, Sister Victorina, is very familiar with those processes where they're professionals who specialize in taking care of them. So it's not necessarily a bad thing for them. Okay? Am I correct? 6?
Thank you, Master. It kind of depends, Master. That's services that usually are paid out of pocket. It's not something that's covered by Social Security or
Very expensive. Yeah.
Medicaid, Medicare, whatever.
Yeah.
So if the people can afford it, they can get pretty good care.
Yeah.
Although they have found that when people end up going into some of those places, I mean, there's those really nice places when people are still pretty okay. Maybe they need a little care. It can be pretty nice if you can afford it.
Yeah.
But then as people get sick or they need additional care because no one's at home to take care of them and they can afford it, it seems as though people don't live very long in those kind of places when it's general care. But sometimes if they can get into a smaller, they call them 6-packs or board and care facilities, they can actually live a long time because they're getting individual care. It can be really good.
It can be, but it could also be very bad as well. So
If it's too large.
Depends on your blessings. Even smallest facilities, they can because they get not the best kind of help.
You're right. It just depends on who's the owner and all that. And you're right, the blessings, it's a big variety.
Yeah, if you have the blessings, you'll won't be suffering that much. Okay, but when you go down to the home care level, it's usually not a good thing.
No.
Unfortunately. Okay, but at least you have some medical attention, medical help. Anyone else? Yeah, yes, 9.
Amitofo, Master. Sometimes when I think about how not special I am, I have this feeling like I'm going to blast off. Like I'm going to lose every sense of who I am. And I get very scared.
When you think you're special, it's okay.
Yeah, I guess it's like it's like a remnant of thinking I'm special, yeah. I don't want to, though. I don't. And so
how about doing something better? Do it like, hey, ignore that. Ignore those thoughts that you're not special or you are special. Ignore them all. Okay? Don't think so much.
there's like this physical sensation of like,
Ignore that.
just ignore it.
Don't process it. Yes, in the back, way in the back. Does he have a microphone? He's an independent observer.
I was just adding a little bit to the boarding care because
Yeah.
I deal with,
Big facility.
actually, I have dealt with big and small, so it doesn't really matter.
Yes, sir.
But I deal with the people that have no income,
Yes.
and I notice it can be very crappy. Like, the people care about their patients. They do care, but the money is not there.
It's not simply just the money, but can you imagine going to work like that every single day and meeting with the people who are poor and who are desperate? After a while, you go crazy yourself. It's not easy for these workers there. The stress is incredible. So you can't blame it. In that environment, you don't expect it to be pleasant, or you don't expect to be able to survive very long. Okay? And that's part of our retribution to end up in such a place. Okay? And so as far as the Buddhist goes, all we can pray for is for them to go to the Pureland, get some relief. They can go to Pureland quicker, the better. Yes? So that's a trade-off. Yes, sir.
Also, I was working with one of my clients and also a tenant because he's both. And he had to go to the hospital. I wanted to put him to higher level of care because he needed it. But the problem that was that the hospital called 92 places to put him to higher level of care. No one wanted him.
No one wanted him, yeah.
Because he had previously homelessness and alcoholism.
It's a tough social problem we have. We care for them, but it's not a whole lot we can do. And that has to do with your personal retribution. It sounds cruel, but that's the bottom line. Okay? We're here to suffer. Okay? In the past, the care people who are mistreating you right now were mistreated by you. That's a Buddhist simplistic view. Okay? And it happened to you because you were bad to them. Pay up, buddy. I mean, it sounds cruel, but that's life. You can choose to deny it and say, no, don't talk to me about it. Okay? It's because you have no blessings. That's why you're scared to face the truth. You're scared to face the truth. You never get to the end of it. You never get out of that vicious cycles of bad karmas, receiving bad retribution. It goes round and round and round, endlessly. There's not a whole lot we can do. We all have to endure our own retribution, undergo our retribution, like it or not. Okay? And it's not for everyone. For some people who say, oh, well, how come you Buddhists are so lacking in compassion? It's not about compassion. We may be compassionate. Buddhas are very compassionate. You can't do much either. It's the nature of cause and effect. You must undergo the retribution for the karmas you created. Go Forest. Let's go to Go Forest.
Amitabha Master. So my grandma, she also has Alzheimer, and sometimes, normally she doesn't want to go out to the street. So in my family, we try to push her to go out. Is this a good thing, or is it better just to leave her in her house alone?
Sorry, repeat the last sentence, the question.
Yeah, I was wondering if it's better with people that have Alzheimer and depression, if it's better to help them to go outside to the street and do activities, or just leave them by themselves.
I don't know. You're asking a medical advice. I don't know. I'm more on the Buddhist side of the equation. You looking for medical advice? I can't give them to you because I'm not qualified to give medical advices. Okay, you have to ask the specialists. They know better. Okay, I feel that I know of some cases where the people have Alzheimer's and they basically wither away. Okay, very, very sad to see that. Okay, in some other cases where the family members, like her daughter, is very loving and she would fight tooth and nail. Okay, every day. Okay, and it prolonged her life, but that's inevitable result is that it's still that death is coming, and they're all ill prepared for that. Okay, they simply don't know what to do. You're afflicted over your current suffering. But what we try to tell you is that brace yourself. After death, you suffer a lot more. There's a potential for catastrophe after you die. And no one is prepared for that. The Catholics, the Buddhists, many Buddhists don't know that. Okay? Did you know? Did you, in your training school, did you learn about that? After death, it's extremely dangerous. And after death, most of us need help. This is why you practice Chan, so that you learn to develop the skills, so that after you die, you can learn to enter Samadhi and dictate, have an influence over where you're going to go at the minimum level. Okay? If you didn't have the skills, then you're totally at the mercy of your past karmas. That's a fact. And it happens right now, folks. Don't wait until you die. Right now, you're a victim to your own negative thoughts. Thoughts of depression. Anyone? Guess what's going to happen after you die? They'll become a lot worse. Because right now, you can distract yourself. You feel depressed? Okay, let's go get up and exercise. Let's go take a walk. Go play some football. Go drink with a friend. Okay? You have means to distract yourself from the depression, thoughts of depression. But after you die, you cannot do any of those anymore. You basically are punching back. And that's why, if you're struggling right now, that's more motivation for you to come and receive the training so that you can resist such attacks. And they cannot afflict you anymore. They cannot affect you anymore. Then you have a chance after death. If you cannot control yourself right now, you don't have a prayer or a chance. You will fall. It's very easy to fall. I'm not telling you yet about what happens. Even now, you have a good thought after you die. But after 49 days in there, there's still a lot of things that happen to you. Now, after 49 days, Donald Trump might be elected president of the United States. Anything could happen. Again. Okay? You see? Yes, JMT.
희변 맹성희님 질문입니다. 아미타불 마스터, 만약 저를 많이 힘들게 한 사람들을 마음으로 자비롭게 용서하거나 돈을 갚지 않은 사람들을 제가 용서하고 돈을 받지 않겠다 염원하면 채무 관계가 끝날 수 있을까요?
So, Master, I'm thinking about the people who gave me a lot of sufferings, and also people who owe money. If I forgive them, and then I pray that I don't want any, money back from them for giving all the money that they owe and causing any sufferings to me, does that mean there's no debt?
If you are if you're holding debts that people owe you, you have the option to forgive the debts. Very much like the bank can say, okay, I don't have to pay me back. You can keep the house. I don't have to pay mortgage anymore. Thank you, Lord. Yeah. You can do that. It's up to you. Very much like it's up to you're in control. If you are a debt holder or creditor, then you can forgive the debts. Yes, absolutely. Yes, Daniel in the back. Is that a hand or just oh my God?
So
Yes.
the question would be, like for example, let's say that I want to forgive the debts of others. How do I do that? Sometimes we don't even know they owe us, in a weird way.
No, you have to be specific.
Let's say, for example, I don't know.
Let me give you an example. Let's give the example of the mortgage, okay? When you get a mortgage, you sign a contract says, I owe you X amount of dollars, and I agree to pay you X amount of dollars every month for 15 years, let's say. So the contract there is a contractual obligation that you agree to with the bank. That's the nature of the debt. It's a contract. So for the bank to forgive, like developed countries who have money and they loan money to the poorer countries who cannot afford them, okay? They can choose to forgive the loan. They basically, these richer countries says, okay, Sri Lanka, okay? You are not able to make them interest payments for several years now. I tell you what, let's forget it. That's what happened. So the contract is canceled. It's annulled. So therefore, there's no more need for Sri Lanka to pay the Chinese. That's what happens. That's what has happened for the debt to be forgiven. Meaning that there's no more obligation from the person who owes you. All right? That's all there is to it. Oh my God, there's so many questions tonight. Okay, we can go into finance a bit later if you like. Yeah, yes, Colombia.
Thank you, Master. Sometimes when I'm meditating, those thoughts come to my mind that...
What thoughts?
The thoughts that everything that people owes me, I just forget that. I just forgive that. They don't have to pay me. But at the same time, I have the thought of maybe like a vow that everything that I owe to other people, I'm going to pay for that. But please allow me some time so I can get to a higher level and I can pay in another means that are going to be really benefit for them. Is that possible?
Is it possible for you to agree to pay the bank $2,000 a month and tell you, then you tell the bank, you know what, I'm sorry, I agree, I signed a contract to pay you $2,000 a month, but now I'm struggling a little bit, so I tell you what, can I hold off the payments and not pay you until I can pay you $5,000 a month? The bank has to agree to it. Just because you, on one side, you say, okay, I swear to God, I will pay you back. And may Daniel Carrasco be my witness. Okay? And put a good word for me to his God. Okay? You still have to, it is a contract. If you change the contract, both sides has to agree. Very much like you say, I forgive you. You don't have to pay me. Okay? That's fine on one side. The other side has to know as well. So on your end, you say, okay, so I want to forgive you. But also next step is when that person comes to pay you, you don't feel like taking the money. Then the debt is resolved. Okay? Or remind the person, you don't owe me anymore. Okay? And the person stopped paying, and you say, I didn't mean it. Then the debt is still there. Okay? So it has to be a new contract, if you will. Okay? Contract laws, I recommend it to you. You're curious. I'll talk to Alex about it. Yes, 9.
Okay, great. Well, first off, Credit Karma seems like a so much better name than I thought of it was before. Okay, number 2, what's the difference between debts and blessings? Because it feels like my debts are my blessings.
They could be both. Give an example. Why would your debt be your blessings?
People who owe me are going to give me things, and then I'll perceive them as a blessing.
Yeah, it depends on which side of the debt, of the contract. Okay? If you owe me, the debt is from you to me. It's my blessings.
So if we give up our debts, we give up our blessings?
If you give up the debt, you lose blessings. Yeah, you better be careful. And I'm here to collect. I'm not forgiving anything. Let's be clear, okay? You want to be forgiving? Talk to Master Shinhua. Okay. He trained bloodsuckers. I am training you to be warriors, okay? Take a beating. Stop being such pussies. Okay? Of course. If you hold the debt, then it's your blessings. Because the stream of income that accrues interest. If on the debt, the amount of loan that you hold increases with interest. That's how nice it is. Yeah. Don't tell Daniel, okay? They believe that if God forgives them, that's forgiven. God may forgive them, but the contract is still enforced. Yes, JMT.
입실 강민성님 질문입니다. 아미타불 마스터, 최근에 알게 된 것인데 저의 친척 중에도 친할머니의 장녀셨는데 스스로 목숨을 끊으신 분이 계신데요. 결혼을 원치 않으셨는데 옛날 결혼을 해야 하는 분위기에 의해 강요를 당하시다가 못 이겨 스스로 목숨을 끊으신 것으로 알고 있습니다. 제가 이분을 위해서 왕생 위패를 다는 것이 도움이 될까요?
This question from Ipsil Kangmin Seok. Recently, I learned that one of my relatives, she's the oldest daughter, she committed suicide. And what happened was that This is my mom's side, my dad's side's grandma's oldest daughter. So what situation was that she was forced to marry, and she couldn't deal with it, and she committed suicide.
This is recently? We're talking about 21st century?
I'm sorry, recently he learned about it.
Oh, okay. Really? 21st century used to have forced marriage? Must be Canada.
Sorry, Master. Recently he learned about it.
Okay, sorry. Okay, continue.
So she committed suicide. Should I help this person by requesting rebirth?
Yes, absolutely.
Would that
Anyone who commits suicide is no good. They fall. I can't think of many people in the world who can help them. Master Shinhua is no longer around. His disciples can't help them. It's pretty severe. Okay. Yes, Daniel, did you have something to say?
So based on your teachings right now,
No, it's a discussion. I have nothing to teach. I'm just gossiping.
so in order to
It's not my teaching. I'm discussing what has transpired and what the Buddha taught and Master Shinhua taught. I'm simply interpreting them for you. It's not my teaching at all, trust me.
So based on your talk, so once a person has to accumulate a lot of blessings to cover for the debts?
You have to pay them back eventually. And that's why in our world, the fourth stage Rahat has wisdom. He says, why should I take a bag of rice from you? Because when I take a bag of rice from you, it's not free to me. I owe you now a bag of rice. And now the bag of rice accrues interest. That's why the fourth stage Rahat says, I'm fourth stage Rahat, I don't need rice. I'm perfectly happy without rice. So why should I take it from you? And that's called wisdom. And on the other hand, think about this. Let's go back to the contract thing. Okay? You have a debt between two people. Let's say you kill someone. Okay? You take a knife and take a gun and say, Pwah! Okay? 44 Magnum. Like Clint Eastwood kind of thing. Okay? So now it's a blood debt. Yes? Very serious blood debt. Because when you kill someone, before that person died, he says, how dare you kill me? Right? And so that thought of hatred there is the last thought he has. So it's a blood debt. This is very serious, folks. So far, so good? Is it clear to you that now Clint Eastwood owes a blood debt to this bad guy? He's very bad, but you still is a blood debt, right? Doesn't matter. If you're evil, but I kill you, I still owe you my life. Your life, I mean. My life is worth more than yours. I like to think. Okay, so you agree there's a blood debt, right, between two people. Okay? Think about this carefully. Now, you hear of this Dharma and say, okay, I'm scared. I have blood debt. I want to settle this. You go to Daniel Carrasco's father and say, Father, forgive me, Father. It's been 3 years since I last made a confession. And you talk, and you see, I've been drinking, I've been lying to my girlfriend, and so forth. Coveting her friend, and so forth. Yes? And then, oh, by the way, I just killed someone as well. And Daniel's father says, mean priest, not father. Is it, you call it father or priest? Both, okay. Danielle's father, not dead. Danielle's father says, okay, 10 Ave Maria, 10 Ave Marias and 10 the Lord or whatever, okay? Our Father, okay? And you're forgiven. You believe that works? You remember, there's a contract now between the killer and the person who's killed. There's a contract when that happens, okay? There's a contract. Now, can his father waltz in and say, you're forgiven? Is it possible? You have to be careful, folks. You like to believe there's a good thing, you have good faith and everything. But think about how realistic it is. If it happens to you, that someone kills you, would you be willing to say, okay, Father says so, I forgive? Okay, you may be able to do that. But let me ask you, Alex, if it's not you who's killed, but if it's your son who's killed, are you willing to forgive? Your son may be willing to forgive, but are you willing to forgive? Because of pain and the suffering that's inflicted upon you. You see that? And not just one death to one person, but others as well. Can it be forgiven that easily? I think not. Be careful, folks. Be very careful. Policewoman.
We have a lot of questions on YouTube.
Oh no, I'm running out of time. 9 minutes. I'm on a timetable here.
There's one that's quite long with a background story too.
Yeah.
I can give you the short ones first.
Are we keeping you awake, ma'am? You're on your last day of fast, I think. Okay, go.
Okay. Shun asks, Master, does Charlie Munger, who recently passed away, have wisdom since he is a closer advisor of Buffett? Buffet.
Yeah, buffet, yeah. He's delectable. Yeah? So that's a long question?
No, that's one of the short ones.
The short ones? Yeah. He has wisdom. Don't worry about that guy. He's a good guy. What's his name? Munger? Hunger?
Charlie Munger.
Yeah, Charlie Hunger. He's okay. He's a good guy. He's a real good guy.
Next question, Cordelia.
Yeah.
Master, how many generations does the ancestral plaque cover, Amitabha?
As long as you can go back.
Daniel Wisniewski.
As long as I can go back, I mean. I say, after 2, I say, that's enough for this one. Yes, next.
Daniel Wisniewski is asking, how can we reduce these retributions or have no retribution, hopefully, in this lifetime?
You have to do one thing. First of all, avoid creating karma, avoid killing Daniel's father. Okay? Or Daniel or Alex's son. Okay? You avoid creating karmas. Okay? Number 2, if you created karma, you better repent. Okay? And number 3, if you can avoid that, then you build your strength like chant, like fasting, so that when the suffering that comes with your retribution, you will not be muddled and you can handle it. And you find a way to resolve it better than suffering. Does it make sense? So that's why the Dharma glimpse for tonight is Chan practice is for life and for death. We don't think that this is like something that's wishful thinking. Chan practice is very useful for you to build the skills and the wisdom to have a meaningful life and a good life. It also prepares you for what happens after you die as well. It's that important, folks. Whether you're Buddhist or not doesn't matter. The skills is yours that you develop. It's not mine. It's not the Buddha's. All right? No applause. Just when the girlfriend walks in, perfect timing, girl. Yes, 3, continue.
Okay, Sarah's asking, Master, you mentioned your debt is your blessings, but I thought that if we forgive someone, it is also compassion to others. We do not want to cause others suffering. So isn't forgiveness our blessing?
That too. It's a bigger blessing. It turns out, and don't tell the non-Buddhists, okay? It turns out that when I forgive you, your debt to me, it ain't gonna happen. Wishful thinking, okay? But let's assume I forgive your debt to you, okay? You owe me, but I forgive, okay? You know what? In your heart, you become grateful. And you said, like Diego, he says, I'm grateful. If I owe him 1, I will swear to God, I will pay him 10. So you actually, when you forgive, when it's an act of giving, by the way, it comes back to you. So forgiving is, what is it? Divine? What's the saying in English? What's the phrase? To err is human, to forgive is divine. To err is human, we make mistakes. But you want to be in a higher class, elevated state of existence, like the God, be more forgiving. Enough for you, Catholic. Continue with our Buddhists.
Okay, I have Samson Lau. Samson Lau has a couple questions to his story. Says, Master, I had a question about my girlfriend's mom. She passed away in her sleep due to a concussion about 2 years ago. She fell and hit her head against the wall and went to bed without knowing she had a concussion. During this time, my girlfriend and I had COVID, so she was not able to see her mom one last time at her home. I feel guilty when I think about it because I contracted COVID first and gave it to my girlfriend. This was before I started following you, but we did seek help at a Buddhist temple through a family friend. In this situation, where would she be reborn to? And should I get her a plaque to help? Okay,
and for your girlfriend, how close is your girlfriend to you? Never mind. In this case here, the girlfriend's mother is not in trouble at all. Okay, so we don't know what happened, but maybe the Buddhist temple helped a little bit. Okay, when you have you fall and hit your head and have a concussion and you die because of it, it's really not a severe kind of thing. Okay, and so it's a kind of not a good death in general. Okay, but it's not too bad. And then you go to Buddhist temple and get some prayers service for that for the deceased. And they tend to help. So she's not in trouble, but she's not in a Pureland. Next.
Just my own final thing. I'll be leaving tomorrow morning, so I just want to thank Shifu and the Sangha for all the things we have done. Thank you.
Oh, really? Going back to arrest some women, some people? Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah. We see you next year.
Yes.
Yeah, with no hair. And you know, they're making plans already. My girls, I say, I've never been to Chicago, so I like to drive over there and help her move.
We
Two
do
of
have
them.
an extra room, so I said it.
So the two of them volunteered to go. I said, but the girls are driving. How can I let you guys go? And Chung Yisin said, I can drive. And what kind of temple are we? Anyway, see you soon. Hang in there, huh? Yield, and pray. Pray the medicine master Buddha. Pray. Yield. Okay, anyone else? Okay, yes, 9.
Master, I had something to share about, I was at the mechanic, and then this was months ago. I backed up into someone's car and did some damage to the car, and then the mechanic came out and said, "No, that was my customer's car." And then he said, "Just go, man." And he was gonna just let me go. I just did some damage to the car. So then I was like, "No, I'm gonna pay it," and then paid it off. But the mechanic's Buddhist too, so we both, like, this situation, like, we both believe in the karma and everything. So if I owed him, I mean, that happened for a reason, and I had to pay it off before I wasn't just gonna leave. So I just want to share that story.
So?
Just going to share a story because it's related to, like, debt and karma, and
it's not too bad. Next time, the worst could happen is someone backs into your car. It's not too bad. But yeah, the Buddhist attitude is that when we owe, we want to pay. We don't need to run away. Okay? If we inflicted pain upon you, then we must be willing to endure pain and suffering in return. That's why Chan matters. The difficulties, the suffering, the hardship you're enduring right now will make you stronger, will enable you to endure more suffering. Okay? That's why Chan is for life. You become tougher and stronger. Okay, last question from Daniel here. Tell me about your father.
So the church says that we need to forgive. The Buddhists say that we need to forgive. The Bible says we need to forgive. But how I struggle with forgiveness to others. As a Buddhist, how do you guys forgive others? For example, let's say that if I hold a grudge for someone, or like, how do I forgive them?
It's not easy for us either to forgive, especially if it hurts so much. It's very difficult to forgive. It's not just Buddhists, it's for everyone. And for the Buddhists, we can forgive easier because in particular, when you learn Chan, you practice these things, we make you endure a lot of suffering, whether it's fasting, whether it's crossing your legs, so forth. It's a lot of pain and suffering. And that actually makes you tougher and not as afflicted when difficulties and suffering comes. Okay? So that's why it's easier for us to forgive when you are able to endure the pain. That's a rationale behind it. If you're not willing to endure the pain, it's very unlikely you're willing to forgive, because you can't handle it. But if you are able to endure the pain, then it's easier for you to forgive. That's number one. Never mind about cause and effect and so forth. It's just a practical thing. Okay? Very much like someone slaps you in the face and you say, and the first reaction you have is, how dare you, right? Okay? But that's what how a normal person would react. But if you have samadhi, someone slapped you in the face, you don't feel anything. Or you feel a little thing instead of being offended. So you see, it's much easier for a person who have samadhi, who have skills, to be able to take it, to forgive, if you will. Does it make sense? They're not as afflicted. That's why it's a lot easier to forgive. And it doesn't stop there. You go a lot higher, where not only are you able to endure the hardship and the suffering, but you transcend the hardship and suffering. You feel no more pain, no more suffering, no matter what. Okay? Then you're at the state where you look at people and say, oh, she's suffering so much, so she comes and attacks me and wants to kill me. And it's a lot easier to forgive as well. You look at all these people suffering, why they're doing it. At this point here, you don't look at your own suffering because you're weak. It hurts. When someone attacks you, someone is mean to you, it hurts. It bothers you. But when you're so strong that when they attack you, it doesn't bother you anymore, like the Buddha state, okay? Then you will then have the strength to look at the person, why she's doing it to you. And that's easy, a lot easier for you to forgive when you see their suffering. Does it make sense? It's all about you. Can you handle it or not? Can you see why they're doing it or not? Otherwise, it's all talk. Yeah, I can forgive. It's about, can you take it or not? Can you see how much suffering she's having in order for her to yell at you and to inflict pain upon you? When the person does it, because it's driven by this pain they're experiencing inside, folks. They need to release it. It makes a hell of a lot easier for us to forgive when you see that person's pain instead of our own pain. We can handle our own pain, but they can't handle her. She cannot handle hers. It's a lot easier to forgive her. Okay? Thank you, everyone. Good night.